Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of En Esta Esquina. And in this corner today, we have the two-time UFC champ and the current UFC champ, Julianna, the Venezuelan vixen, Peña. How you doing, Julianna? How's everything going?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really good. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing great, Julianna. Once again, thank you so much for your time. We know that you're busy, especially because you do have that fight coming up June 7th against Kayla Harrison. And again, we're all excited that you're here. You know, I know who's very excited. My co-host. Hey, Areli, I know you got some questions for her. Let her have it.
Julianna, yeah, I'm glad to have you here. I just want to ask you a question. How do you feel to win the Ultimate Fighter?
And be the first woman.
The first one, yeah.
First woman to ever win the UFC fight. Right? Ultimate Fighter. The Ultimate Fighter.
I feel amazing. It's quite the accomplishment. It's something that will never be able to be taken away from me. Like the Forrest Griffin and the Diego Sanchez's, I'm the first woman to win the Ultimate Fighter when they allowed women into the UFC in 2013. So it's an accomplishment that I'm very proud of and something that I'll carry along in my legacy for the rest of my life.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Really cool. You know, obviously being at the Ultimate Fighter, that's no easy feat, you know. You're on the underdog coming up with this one. You've even said it yourself in the press conference against Kayla Harrison that you know, you're the underdog, but you don't worry about that. You were the underdog against Nunes as well when you beat her in the first one. How do you feel about this one coming up against Kayla?
I feel great about it. You know, at the end of the day, my most important thing is getting my mat time in and making sure that I'm meeting all of my training demands. And when you put in the work and when you put in all the hard work, blood, sweat, tears, all of the things that it requires in order to make it to the octagon, there's nothing left but to get locked in the cage and do it. So I'm just getting fully prepared, making sure that I continue to sharpen my sword day in and day out and just do everything I can and possible to prepare. I don't look at underdogs or favorites or anything like that. I've always been the underdog for pretty much every single fight. I can't even tell you a time that I was actually a favorite in any of the fights that I've gone into. So being an underdog for me is totally fine. I love ruining people's day, and I love making those people that believe in me a lot of money.
So, Julianna, a question I do have for you is, who has been the biggest influence in your life, both inside and outside of the octagon?
I would say the biggest influence in my life has got to be Rick Little. He taught me how to fight. He taught me all of the martial arts knowledge that I have. He taught me a lot about the world when I was just a 18-year-old girl, not really knowing my way in the world. I think I tried to quit the sport 2 or 3 times, and he just kept roping me back into the sport so that I could make a career for myself and make a living for myself. At times I didn't believe that Dana was ever going to allow women into the UFC, and at times I didn't necessarily even believe in myself, but Rick always believed in me, and he always gave me that confidence that I could get in there locked in the cage, whether I had everyone in my corner, whether I had no one in my corner. Not only did he teach me how to fight and give me a career, but he's just been an absolute light in my life in terms of guiding me on how to live my life as a martial artist and just live my life in general.
Hey, Julianna, quick question. How do you balance your life of being a mom and training for this fight?
Yeah, I think, even as a mother that has somebody to help her raise her daughter, it's still difficult. For me, I'm separated and I'm a single mom, and I've been a single mom since my daughter was like 2 years old. So she's 7 now, and doing it by myself is extremely difficult. I struggle with the balance of trying to do the things that I need to do for her and then doing the things that I need to do for me. And so a lot of the times it gets to be where it's like she's just lugged around to all my practices and she just has to sit and watch me do my thing. That way I can make sure that I'm meeting all of my training demands. And the balance is not there as much as I would like it to be. And that's why when I'm done with these fights, I take so much time so that I can actually dedicate to focusing on things that she wants to do and just making sure that I'm as present as possible with her once the fight is over, because this is a selfish sport and it requires so much of me. I have to make sure that I'm sleeping right. I have to make sure that I'm eating right. When I'm in the kitchen slaving over a hot stove trying to make her mac and cheese, and I'm cutting weight, and I just want to eat the mac and cheese, and I can't eat the mac and cheese because I'm cutting, and it's not something that it's very good for my diet. Those things are very hard. Or she wants to go out to ice cream, I take her out to ice cream, and I just want a little bite, but I know that I can't take a little bite because I have to cut the weight. And so it's very difficult to balance that. But I think that the most important thing is I have to make the sacrifices now. And when she sees me running as fast as I can on an incline of 10% on the treadmill, running at freaking 7 miles an hour, and she sees how hard I'm working, and she sees the drive, the dedication, the sacrifice, I think that at the end she's going to understand that it was all for her and I, so that we can build ourselves a better life than where I came from and from what I was experiencing when I was a kid. I just want to be able to give her more than I was able to have.
That definitely gave me chills right there. Round of applause.
Yeah.
You just made even a bigger fan right here.
It feels good to have people like you to inspire women that we could do it. We could do great things too.
Coming back to the weight and cutting weight and making the weight. You know where I'm going. You called her out already. The weight bully. You really think she used, because she was fighting at 155 and she dropped down to 135. You really think that she had to use steroids to make the weight?
Oh, I'm not saying that she had to use steroids to make 135. No, I'm not really sure how steroids work. I am just saying that at one point she was very doughy and feminine and soft and round in her features. And then, as soon as she went into the PFL, she's this jacked, muscled, juicy looking, chiseled like a man, very masculine. And so I don't know what that is. That could just be great diet and exercise. But when you look that chiseled and that strong, it's not just natural, in my opinion. I definitely think that she has dabbled in the past with performance enhancing drugs, but that's not here nor there. Whether she is or whether she isn't, whether she comes out, roided out, that's none of my business. At the end of the day, I have to focus on myself and what I know that I can do. And, what she does and what she doesn't do, that's on her conscience, not on mine.
Well, how does it motivate you right now to knowing that if you do win this fight, you will get that trilogy fight that you've been wanting?
That's great. That's the cherry on top. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm not focused on Amanda right now. I'm solely focused on Kayla. I have a gigantic test in front of me, and this test is going to take everything out of me and all of my energy and attention and focus. So right now, Kayla is the one who I have my sights on, and afterwards we can start talking about everyone else, and I don't care who you talk about, but at the end of the day right now, Kayla Harrison is my number one target and goal.
How much does it worry you that you're gonna fight against Kayla? She's a 2-time judo Olympic champion. Does that maybe get you a little bit uneasy getting in the mat with her, or the octagon, or not really?
No, I don't get worried. That the word that you used, how much does it worry me? It doesn't worry me at all. When you've been locked inside that octagon with, the best of the best, it's just my job. This is just what I do. And on June 7th, I go to work. And so I have to go to work and be prepared to go to work. And I am prepared no matter if I was fighting King Kong themselves, or if I'm fighting Hercules, or if I'm fighting Hulk Hogan. It doesn't matter. I am going to be ready no matter who stands across the octagon from me. And so no, worry is not the answer. Am I anxious? Am I nervous? Do I have feelings of it's about to go down and then the real stuff's about to happen? Yes, absolutely. But it's not worried. I leave all of my worries, all of my fears, all of my doubts. I put those at the foot of the cross. I give those to Jesus Christ every single night. I ask him to renew my spirit, to strengthen my mind and to strengthen my spirit. And then I go and I get it the next day. So it doesn't matter. Worries is not a word that I use in my vocabulary.
What can we expect? She's judo, you're jiu-jitsu, but you're really like standing toe to toe with them. What are the fans going to expect, or what are you hoping? besides winning? What do you expect to do?
What can they expect? They can expect her to come and bum rush me right away, take me down and try to lay on top of me and ground and pound me for 25 minutes. But that's just not going to be the case. That's not going to happen. I'm looking for a submission victory. I'm looking for a knockout victory. I'm looking for a victory by spinning heel kick. I don't care how the victory comes. I cannot tell you. I do not have a crystal ball. I am not Nostradamus. I can just tell you that every time I get locked inside that octagon, I fight my heart out and I literally put it all on the line, and I'm willing to die inside there. So I don't care how the victory comes. If I knock her out with a pinky finger, are you going to tell me that it was the wrong way? I don't think you are. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to do whatever it takes in order to get my hand raised, and that's what I will do.
Fajador.com